question might be, why would Prince Harry and Meghan actually want to return as publicly funded royals? There were original conditions that caused them to step back, and one of them was press targeting, and we're sort of seeing that on the conversation today, where Emma and Kelvin are spreading misinformation, where they claim that it was Harry and Meghan's attacks which ruined caused all the problems. But as you yourself, Jeremy, have said, there were palace briefings against them, which started back in 2018, and even things like the story around, bridesmaid tears, that came from the palace. So as far as that type of thing is concerned, I can't see that condition has changed.
We've got to sort of park all that, haven't we? That's all water under the bridge now. We're going to assume let's say we can get them back, because let's say...
My point.
I thought you said your point, sorry.
My point is that certain conditions, things like press targeting and press misinformation, hasn't changed. As far as I can see, there's still press attacks happening. Like, I've seen a really disgusting article saying that Meghan is worse than Andrew, which is obviously completely not true. And that is still going on today with complete silence from the royal family.
I don't know anything about what you just said. I don't know what that's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, so but listen, you've sort of said a lot there, and
exactly.
Obviously predicated on all of this. Alicia, sorry, don't just keep talking. On all of this is predicated that we could get them back because they might want to come back. And you're quite right, Alicia, they might just say no.
Yeah, so my point is that where certain conditions haven't changed, they're going off and they're doing incredible work, as we're seeing in Jordan today, for example. They're supporting their causes, and they're doing it independent of public funding, and they're obviously able to. Yeah, exactly. So what would be the appeal to them for actually wanting to come back? It kind of seems that, when things are going wrong with the royal family, then there's always these appeals that, maybe we should get Harry and Meghan back.
I hope you feel you've had enough time, Alicia. I don't mean to in any way cut you off, but that's very wise.
Very happy for them to not come back. I would just like them to stick by their word and have a nice little private life. And just in response to what Alicia was saying.
No, but they're making a lot of money, and there's been bad behaviour on all sides. But Alicia can read the book Spare, and you find out the stories in the newspapers where only the half of it was much worse.
As the Queen famously said, recollections may differ.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
great line.
Wonderful.
Okay, Alicia, bless you. Thank you for your call. What do you think of what Meghan said?
Well, I think it's based on fact. And I think that before any criticism of her, and to tell her, get off social media, ignore it. I mean, let's remember that she always had a social media presence way before she was part of the royal family, which was used for actually, I think, a lot of positivity, women's rights, and all that kind of stuff. So she was already established on social media. And I think that what's happened to her. I mean, I think of what happened to Caroline Flack, and how she had about 3 weeks of abuse, which caused her to commit suicide. Yeah. And Meghan's kind of had to hold her nerve for years now, unfairly. And it's so much of it has emanated from what the palace and the institution had set up.
All right. I mean, I suppose, yes, although she took on the palace establishment, and I know Paula's going to disagree with me now, she basically accused them of racism through an interview which her husband corroborated without really any evidence at all.
I am going to correct you. You'll be surprised to hear that racists don't walk around with racist tattooed on their forehead. That's not to say that she was wrong. She might be.
She said they were talking about the skin colour of their baby and thinking OK, is that not allowed?
So it's all about context.
What do you reckon? Should he just sort of give up and stay in Montecito and, as some people want, not to complain?
Have we learnt nothing from the death of his mother? Have we learnt nothing from what this paper has done in general to divide this country? Harry should continue fighting. If he's right, the way they hounded Meghan out of this country is a shame on this country, because she should have done a lot of good, especially in a time like this. So here we are again with the Daily Mail, who for years to me have been, from the 30s onwards, have a very dark past. We won't go into that, but go and read up about it. They're proprietors. And now they sow a division in this country, which we do not need at this time.
Right. Well, it's not the job of people to take people to court for, papers to court for sowing division. They present a worldview, one that you know about or not. The question is, if they've invaded people's privacy and acted unlawfully, should they be held to account? And should somebody like Harry continue to with that fight, which I think you agree with?
The British tabloid press is more than just gossip. It's a powerful machine that can shape or even break lives. Headlines define public opinion, often with little regard for truth or fairness. Just look at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Their story twisted and torn apart by the press. For many in the spotlight, the destructive power of tabloids can be lethal. When Prince Harry married Meghan Markle in 2018, it felt like a new era for the royal family. For a moment, the press celebrated Meghan as a symbol of progress. But soon, headlines turned negative. The tabloids scrutinised every part of Meghan's life. Old double standards and subtle racism crept in, painting Meghan as a villain, no matter the truth. The tabloids talk about mental health, but their actions tell a different story. Caroline Flack was hounded by the same press that claimed to support her. After relentless negative coverage, she took her own life in 2020. The same newspapers that attacked her called for kinder reporting. For Harry and Meghan, it was a warning. Prince Harry grew up under the shadow of his mother's death. Princess Diana was chased by paparazzi until her final moments in Paris. She was loved by millions, but hunted by the press. For Harry, this trauma never faded. Diana's death was a turning point in British media history. The public blamed the tabloids and the photographers, but the headlines didn't change. The same tactics continued, often targeting the next generation of royals. Harry has spoken about his mother's suffering. He remembers the flashbulbs, the shouting, and the lack of privacy. When he saw the press attack Meghan, he saw history repeating itself. He vowed not to let the same thing happen again. Harry's actions were shaped by grief and fear. Protecting his family became more important than tradition or public opinion. Harry decided to fight back. He sued British newspapers for phone hacking and publishing private letters. The cases were tough, but Harry refused to back down. In December 2023, he won a major victory. Newspapers had to pay damages and apologise. For Harry, it proved the press wasn't above the law. Meghan faced relentless media pressure, rumours, criticism and lies. She struggled with her mental health and found little support from the royal institution. Her cries for help were met with silence. Meghan's honesty sparked conversations about mental health and racism. Her bravery helped others feel less alone. Prince Andrew faced serious accusations and harsh headlines, but the coverage was softer, the outrage muted. He wasn't vilified like Harry and Meghan, who were criticised relentlessly. The double standard was obvious, exposing deeper issues of privilege, race and media power. After leaving the UK, Harry and Meghan started a new life in America. They launched a charity, signed deals with media companies, and began telling their own story. Away from the British tabloids, their voices grew stronger. They found support and a sense of purpose. Their success frustrated the UK press. Stories about Megxit turned into warnings about failing in Hollywood. But Harry and Meghan's achievements spoke for themselves. They won awards, produced documentaries, and supported mental health causes. Their popularity grew, especially among younger generations. For the tabloids, this was a problem. They wanted Harry and Meghan to fail, to prove that leaving the royals was a mistake. Instead, the couple thrived. Their happiness was a quiet rebuke to those who tried to destroy them. Their story is far from over, but now they control the narrative. Leaving the royal family was not easy. For Harry and Meghan, it was a choice between survival and tradition. The headlines called it betrayal, but the truth is more complicated. They left because staying meant more pain and silence. Their decision took courage. Sometimes survival is the bravest choice of all. The story of Harry, Meghan and the British tabloids is about more than royalty. It's about truth, power and humanity. The media shapes our views, but it is not always honest. We must ask questions. We must look past the headlines. Think about who benefits from scandal. Consider whose voices are silenced. Don't accept every story at face value. The press can do great good, but it can also do harm. The responsibility to tell the truth should never be forgotten. Harry and Meghan's journey is not perfect, but it is real. Their choices were about survival, love, and self-respect. We owe it to them and to ourselves to see beyond the spin. In the end, facts matter more than gossip. Let's remember that and treat every story and every person with the fairness they deserve.